I'm Dan Crutchfield, and I'm one of the designers for this new strategy card game about popping soap bubbles, Burst My Bubble. And I'm going to explain a little bit about the game. So, in the game we have bubble heroes.
Sure.
And bubble heroes are unique to the deck. So if you have one of these in your hand, then you're the only player that has one of these cards. That's also true about defense cards. Defense cards are red, and if you have one of those in your hand, it's the only one in the deck. Okay. The game starts very simply. Each player has 5 cards, and you start by drawing 2. This is the bubble up phase, and it should feel a little bit like your hand is overflowing with cards. If you have a green card in your hand, this is an action card, and you have an option to play 1 action card on your turn. As you play action cards, they get discarded to the soap sponge. The soap sponge itself is 100 points, and as cards build up in the sponge, these are all points that you want. Okay? So as play goes around the table, this is going to fatten up, and eventually a player is going to want to make a bid for these points. And the way that they do that is at the end of their turn, they'll say burst. When they say burst, they become the bubble player. The bubble player will look at all the cards in their hands. Every card that has a bubble icon, you'll see the bubble icons on these cards, goes face up in front of them, just like this, and it creates what's called as a bubble stream. You'll see there's other cards on the bubble stream other than bubble cards. There's a defense card here, and you'll see it allows for cards to be nested up against it. That modifies the way cards are normally used in the game. Also, there's a water card. It's going to bolster this 30 by 10, so this 30 is actually a 40. And there's a foam card. A foam card allows me to duplicate any common card in the deck. I've decided to duplicate this 30, so this is actually a 30 bubble. Okay, so now that my bubble stream is set, the rest of the players are going to try to pop all my bubbles. As they pop my bubbles, they'll be taking cards off the bubble stream, and they're going to be collecting them in front of them to create sets for points. I'm just trying to survive as the bubble player. If I do survive, I get all the points in the soap sponge. Okay? So there's 2 ways to pop bubbles in the game. The first way is pop cards. Pop cards are orange, and you'll see they have a pop symbol. Pop cards pop bubbles. I can put as many of these together as I wish to target a single bubble. So in this case, I have 50 points, and I can target Rainbow Bubble for 50 points. That will pop Rainbow Bubble. The 20, I have an incomplete set of 20s, would come down here and complete a set of 20s. This is actually 200 points. I would discard this to the drain and score it immediately.
Okay.
The 30 comes down here and starts a new set. This is scored immediately. That's another 50 points. Okay, so I'm going to take that back because I want you to see something else. The bubble player also has ways to stop me. So in this case, this defense card living in the bubble, when somebody tries to pop my rainbow bubble, I can kill their play. The living in a bubble saves my hero and actually puts that player in a bubble until the phase is over. So I saved my hero. The second way to pop cards is with buster cards. Buster cards work different than pop cards in that you can only play 1 at a time. So the first time I put 1 down, I can pop a 10. So that would do 10 points. Okay?
Okay.
But these stay live. So on my next turn, if I have another pop card, I can put it on top and they chain together. And now it's going to do 20 points. And I can take multiple bubbles. So let's say, put that 10 back up there, and if I have 2 10s, I can take both of those, and they can come down to my sets.
Okay.
Also, I can go and chain it again for 30 points. So now I can take a 20 and a 10.
Okay.
This maxes out at 4 cards, so I can do it one more time for 40 points. When the set is complete, it's scored as 100 points.
Okay.
You cannot pop a hero with busters.
Okay.
Okay? But there is an exception to the rule. I said you can only play 1 at a time. let's take the foam card off the bubble stream and put it in my hand along with this buster. On my turn, I could say, I'm going to foam a buster. The way foam works in the game, you have to play the duplicated card immediately. So I would play that as a 30 for buster. I could take this 20 and this 10. That would complete my set of 20s. This would come over here.
Okay.
I still get to play my buster. So that would be 40 points. That's enough to take this 30. So this would come down through these. The water card gets discarded to a soap sponge. This comes down to my sets. I completed a set of busters. That's 100 points. That gets discarded to the drain. It's out of the game.
Okay, fantastic.
Okay? That's an idea on how to play. It's a 3 to 6 player game. Every time you add a player, you add a hero. Here's our lineup of heroes right here.
Beautiful artwork.
Thank you very much. This is our 5-player hero, our 6-player hero. You'll see that they allow for nesting as well. So that allows you to modify cards differently than they're used in the game. Having the extra heroes where you add one for each player added also adds some replay value to the game as well.
All right. And this is Dan Crutchfield with Purple Potato Games. Here live from, well, not live, but pre-recorded from Origins 2017. This is on Kickstarter until...
We got 13 more days.
13 more days. Get out there, pledge. If you like card games that are good for the whole family, get out there, pledge, and help them achieve their goal. Thank you very much. This is Scott from Everything Board Games.